what's going on, guys? June 8th here, and welcome to another edition of Whiteboard. First, before I get into all of this, I want to clarify a couple things with you guys. First and foremost, I've seen some comments go around the internet where I've seen people claim that I claim to be some kind of, like, expert or all-knowing, omniscient being, and I want to say that I don't. Okay, I don't claim to be any kind of smarter, better, more expert human than anybody else out there. All I'm doing is researching. I love to research. I spend a lot of time doing it, and I'm using the avenues of the internet like YouTube and Facebook to put my thoughts out there. Okay? There's a lot of other people out there who are a lot smarter than I am, and the thing is, I know what I know what I don't know, and I don't claim to know what I don't know. So that's basically it. If you guys want to go and call me some kind of expert, go for it. I mean, that humbles me and that makes me feel pretty damn good about myself, but I'm not gonna claim that I am an expert and say those things about myself. I'm just a dude using YouTube to say some shit. So there you go. And then secondly, I've seen a lot of comments out there about people saying all kinds of weird stuff about me, and this kind of ties into the first thing, but I mean, the internet's just getting to be a really weird place, let me tell you. And I just want to say, if you don't know somebody firsthand, have heard words come out of their mouth, or have actually talked to them to verify whatever information is out there, don't automatically believe it. And I've seen a lot of weird stuff people are saying, and I'm like, I don't know how they got that or came to that conclusion. So I just want you to know, I'm going to stay over here in my own little lane. I don't know pretty much all these people on the internet, so I'm not going to go and say a bunch of shit about them. If you hear stuff about me, verify it first before believing it. That's all I want to say. So anyway, into this. Sorry for wasting 2 minutes of your time there, but first and foremost, James Comey, right? So today is like Comey Day all over the news, and he is testifying in front of the Senate Intelligence Committee today about whatever the heck he's talking about. Basically, what we're seeing from what he's saying is that his testimony does not seem to find anything illegal that Donald Trump has done. And really what I'm seeing from the corporate media and both the alternative media just kind of surrounding the issue is that the mainstream media is just trying to fan those Russia flames as much as they can. They're just trying to beat that dead Russian horse. And they're taking, like, things that Comey is saying and trying to contextualize it into ways that just really, again, paint Russia and blame Russia as being the bad guy. So that's essentially why I think Comey has decided to testify. He's up there to basically lie a bunch and cover his ass, because either I see it as this way. I mean, again, this is my personal opinions all in these videos. Either Comey doesn't want to die at the hands of Hillary and deep state crew, or he doesn't want to get thrown in jail at the hands of Donald Trump. So it's one of those, right? And right now he's like, I think I'd rather go to jail than get we could say Seth Rich or something like that. So I don't know. I'm not seeing much in the way of Comey's testimony. Next, what was really interesting is that yesterday Donald Trump named, of course he tweeted this, what else? How else would he do it? He named a new FBI director, and that was this dude, Christopher Wray. Now, I have researched this guy a little bit. I honestly don't know all that much about him, but from what I've found, he has been a career lawyer, and he has had roles in major fraud and anti-terrorism cases. And then on the Justice Department website, it claims that he specializes in white-collar law. So, you know, I'm not going to get my hopes up with this guy, but I'm not, like, anti-Chris Wray, right? I'm just kind of seeing, I'm feeling it out, seeing where it goes. I do like the fact that he has specialized in white-collar law. So if, in fact, Donald Trump is not trying to take down the deep state, this could be a very helpful person in the position of FBI director for taking down politicians and, attacking larger corporations, things like that. So, again, right, we'll just keep a keen eye on this guy and see where it goes. And then next, this was really funny to me, and when you have the proper perspectives about it, it's just plainly obvious. But yesterday, we saw the MSM, the mainstream media, the corporate rags, all try to blow up this story about Jeff Sessions and Donald Trump being in this like tiff, and Donald Trump really unhappy with Jeff Sessions or something like that. And we saw it blow up on all kinds of corporate media yesterday, especially like CNN. CNN said that, you know, Jeff Sessions committed the one sin Donald Trump can't forgive, and, you know, he's threatened to quit his post and all this kind of stuff. But today, and just like literally minutes before I was doing hit play for this video, ABC News posted that Trump has confidence in Sessions, White House says, right? This is why the White House is like, shoot, we should just need our own news agency, because all these corporate media rags are just fake news. Because they're literally getting so bad where they're just making up stories. And I believe this one, the rift or the tensions between Sessions and Trump, is completely fabricated. At first I thought it might have been true and it was like just a planned story that the media was waiting to throw out there, but I think it's totally fabricated. And the reason why they fabricated this is plainly obvious, and that is because Jeff Sessions yesterday gave a lecture to 1,500 LEOs, law enforcement officers, about human trafficking. And this is why you need a bigger whiteboard. I gotta like abbreviate everything. 1,500 law enforcement officers about human trafficking and child abuse in Atlanta. So Jeff Sessions was up there and he gave this great speech to a bunch of cops, basically completely outing the human trafficking and child exploitation issues that we have going on in this country. And again, if he's up there basically lecturing about pedogate, right? He didn't, I see a lot, this is what I don't like about alternative media, is they get really clickbaity. Jeff Sessions never said the word pedogate, but you'll see a lot of alternative media outlets and journalists and whatnot act like he did. They're like, oh, Jeff Sessions talks about pedogate. He didn't say those words, but he talked about child exploitation and human trafficking, but he's up there basically, right? My point here is basically talking about pedogate. So, of course, the mainstream media is going to blow up this story to really put some negative publicity on Jeff Sessions because he's up there completely outing the child abuse issue, which, I mean, I have some videos planned that get into these really dark subjects because they need to be talked about, but what is a primary pillar of how the deep state operates? They do a lot of stuff into child abuse and child sex trafficking, and that's like a primary pillar of not only how they make a lot of black market money, but how they blackmail politicians is through this type of nasty stuff. And I'm not going to get into that too much here, but of course, I mean, if that's going to be outed, they're going to try to attack Sessions. So that's just what I wanted to clear up about that for you guys. And I do think that, again, we're going to see, I mean, when you kind of connect these dots, we see Jeff Sessions really start to out the human trafficking and child abuse issue. We see a dude as the new FBI director who specializes in white-collar law. And we know that a lot of major politicians and major players in government and corporate power are into these two things. So, you know, as you can kind of, you know, play the 4D, 5D, whatever D chess in your brain, you can kind of speculate out in a few months' time, okay, these are all the things being aligned. I do think that's why I have positivity in these issues or videos. I mean, I have positivity in these videos, and a lot of people ask me. I get a lot of questions and a lot of comments. They're like, Jordan, you know, I love all the stuff you put out, but I just can't see what the heck Donald Trump and this administration is doing that's positive for everybody. And I just want to clarify, I'm not like pro-Trump. I'm anti-corruption. And what I see Donald Trump doing right now, I don't know what he's done in his past, but right now, what I'm seeing is that he is the battering ram. His administration, him, Jeff Sessions, whoever else is on the team, you could say, they are the battering ram that's going in there to completely destroy the old systems that the deep state operated. So this is just one dot that does give me hope. One dot of, many I can explain. I can even do a video just on Donald Trump, but I get sick of talking about him sometimes. There's a lot of different pieces that I see that give me faith that he is that battering ram that's in there to just break down the old systems. And once we're done with those old systems, we can move past a society where we don't even have Donald Trump in there. Okay, but, we're not there yet. We got to deal with him now. And, in all honesty, I freaking enjoy what he's doing. He's blatantly calling out the mainstream media. He's showing everybody, no matter where they're right-wing or left-wing or don't even bother with the labels. I don't bother with the labels, but he's showing everybody how corrupt the system is right now. And that's just awesome. I don't care who you are, that's awesome. So that's what I want to say about that. And next, again, this kind of ties into we have a new FBI director and we have the administration outing human trafficking, child abuse. This is a piece of data that I've kind of seen floating around, and I have put some question marks at the end of it because I'm not sure of it. But it's very interesting, and I'm putting this data in the discernment box to maybe use later, maybe see if it all pans out. So I just want to offer it to you guys to distill and discern in your own brains. But that is Hillary Clinton being offered up in a deal between the deep state and Trump. And I've seen this in multiple outlets. I'm reading right now from beforeitsnews.com. So again, I'm just showing information. I'm not attaching on to the messengers. I'm just showing the message. So Hillary conviction is being offered up in deal between deep state and Trump. So apparently, Hillary Clinton is being offered up as a sacrifice by the deep state. Hillary Clinton will be offered up on a platter, and Clinton will not go down for child trafficking, drug dealing, money laundering, or gun running. She's going to go down for the pay-to-play stuff first. So I want to clarify a lot of my thoughts behind this. I'm kind of resonating with it. Like, it does sound somewhat legitimate when you take into account all of the throwing under the bus that a lot of the mainstream media outlets have been doing with Hillary Clinton in the past few days. And I reported on this in my last update on June 6th, I believe. There's been a lot of mainstream media that's completely throwing her under the bus. Even liberal outlets, more of the corporate rags. And it completely makes sense that she would not go down first for all the really deep, dark stuff, like the human trafficking, the organ trafficking. We know, since Hillary Clinton's times in Arkansas in the 80s that she's been drug running with the CIA. There's a lot of deep, dark stuff there, but you could say the FBI or this administration or the white hats, call them what you want, I don't think they would want to take her down first for the child trafficking stuff, because that is some deep, dark shit that not a lot of this country is ready to hear right now. They need to hear it, but I don't necessarily think they're ready for it. So if Hillary Clinton were to go down first for pay-to-play stuff that's a lot more easy on people's conscience to absorb, that will then open their brains up, and they're like, oh my gosh, Hillary is a crook. And then it's going to be a lot easier for them to actually believe stuff like the human trafficking and the child abuse being done by very high politicians, if not some of the highest politicians in the land. So that's what I wanted to say about that. It makes total sense that she would go down for something easier first, and then all of the nasty stuff would come out. Of course, I don't necessarily, me personally, I don't like that. I'm just kind of like, rip the freaking Band-Aid off right now kind of person. But again, when you take some sense into it, it's like, okay, it makes sense. But I would not want to wait more than a very short amount of time for all of that Luciferian trafficking, sacrificial stuff to come out, right? So if she does go down for the pay-to-play first, great, we get her in jail. This trafficking, Luciferian cult information better come out quick. So, or else then we would know that maybe he is controlled opposition. If this deep dark stuff doesn't get outed, which, I mean, it doesn't look like it, again, with like this dot and a lot of other dots, but if we don't see the human trafficking and the child abuse issue hit the very top of the deep state pillars, again, if we don't see like the financial guys and the people who aren't even in the public light get exposed, I don't like that. So that's just my thoughts about this. But hey, maybe this is going to happen very, very soon since we're seeing this new dude in and him talking about that. So, I don't know. Keep that in your brain. Keep that in your discernment box, like I said. And then next, we have ties. This is a really interesting article I found on Vote. Ties between Podesta, Brock, and the rich family spokesman. And this doesn't surprise me at all, but I found a nice little piece of investigation on Vote that I'm going to link down below. I don't even need to say that. I link all this stuff down below anyway, but it basically says, found Podesta and Comet Ping Pong connections to the Seth Rich family spokesman, Brad Bowman. New info. And I'm just reading the last little paragraph here, but it says, so Brad Bowman's business partner, Tori Brown, has ties to Podesta and was a director for David Brock at Media Matters. Very interesting piece of investigations you all can go check out. But, of course, this rich family spokesman, he was trying to beat that dead Russian horse on the mainstream media, and he, of course, is trying to say, like, oh, be nice to Seth Rich's family, stop talking about this death and publicizing it and all that BS. So now we're having direct ties into seeing why he's trying to cover the ass, right, and put a hush-hush on this Seth Rich investigation, and that's because he's directly tied into the DNC, the Democratic National Committee. So, of course, these dudes, Podesta and Brock, they don't want that being exposed, but I'll expose it, and I hope all you guys will too, because we need Seth Rich's death vindicated. So, and not in vain, I want to say. So anyway, go check that out. Very interesting and very good knowledge nugget to have if you're trying to talk to any of your friends and family about the issue. Be like, hey, Seth Rich's death, complete cover-up, and this is why. Because the people who are covering it up have some really bad things they're involved in, which would get exposed in time with Seth Rich's murder being exposed. So, just want to make a note of that. And lastly, not related to any of this political stuff, we had a really political video today, but, if it needs to be said, it needs to be said. Another holistic doctor was murdered, and this just really sucks because, how many holistic doctors have we had in the past 2 or 3 years murdered now? 60, 70, 80. It's the numbers up there, and many of them are super freaking weird. People that get suicided, or they have heart attacks, or just all kinds of odd, mysterious deaths don't really have an explanation. This one was 4 days ago on June 4th. Holistic doctor shot to death at an organic restaurant. This was in Boulder, Colorado, and he was only 49. This happened on Memorial Day, actually, just a little after midnight. Christopher Bailey King, he was only 49. He was eating at the Farm to Table restaurant, and he was approached by a guy. They went outside. There was no altercation inside, so it was kind of weird, but when they went outside, dude shot him 4 times. And it's just really sad to hear. I got this from Dr. Mercola's wife, Erin Elizabeth. She's been reporting on all of these holistic doctor deaths. She's the one that's really putting the list together. And if you don't know about them, go research that topic, because a lot of these holistic doctors have either been into exposing the vaccine issue and actually exposing a lot of purposeful, malicious things going into the vaccines. That's all I'll say. And a lot of them have actually been into natural cancer therapies. So educate yourself about how bad the pharmaceutical industry is. And the pharmaceutical industry is just another one of those pillars that the deep state that's holding up that deep state, or that cult elite, you could call them. Call them what you want. There's a lot of names for them. So educate yourself about that. And that's why I'm so big into health, is because the pharmaceutical industry, I don't exactly know how much money that these deep state folk make on the black market, but that pharmaceutical industry is the most profitable industry for the powers that be. And it's the most beneficial industry, because when you have a populace who is not healthy, their brains can't work. And if their brains literally aren't functioning optimally, they're not going to be able to connect these dots. They're not going to be able to literally think and see what the heck is going on. So that's why I'm so big into health. I want people's brains functioning, bodies functioning. I don't want people in pain. I want people to actually, utilize the abilities that they have. And I just don't like to see people screwed. So look into pharmaceutical stuff and be on the lookout for a lot more health videos from me. But anyway, that's the news roundup for today. Kind of a long one, but there's a lot of freaking stuff going on, and you can expect a lot more videos coming out from me. I'm definitely going to get on it this weekend, next week, and as long as I need to until freaking all these guys are arrested and all the tyranny that's going on in this day and age is in history books. So anyway, take care, you guys. Thank you for all of your support, and you can catch me in another one of these soon. So take care, guys.